I'm Tiffany, I'm 27, and I'm gay. You know, I think that Jesus was a good man. I mean, I think of him as a prophet, but when I think about Jesus, I mean, I really think about the ideas of forgiveness and love and, you know, sort of the positive stories about him and the positive changes that he made in people's lives. You know, Christians, I think there are some really good Christians who, you know, live by the teachings of Jesus, and I think there are some people who claim to be Christians and don't really follow the path that they probably should. Hateful, closed-minded, rude, inconsiderate. They're the kind of people that they hate you so much that they don't even want to hear what you have to say. Yeah, I mean, I think probably the most disturbing situation that I was ever in was I was at a gay pride march in DC, and as we had gotten off of the metro and were walking to the National Mall to participate, I mean, there were some pretty big crowds of Christians, you know, who were there, and they had their signs, you know, and the signs were really atrocious, and the messages on them were ridiculous. There was something where it had the word gay running like from top to bottom, and then sideways it said "got AIDS yet." You know, that's something that's extremely ridiculous, but it's not, I mean, it's not always so blatantly obvious like that. The last time that I went to church service was for Christmas Eve, and it was a church that I had never been to before, but I was with a friend of mine, and it was their family's church, and they assured me before we showed up, oh, you know, it's not going to be a big deal, you know, everybody's just going to be there worshiping. And I mean, I can't explain to you how uncomfortable I felt. I mean, I wasn't greeted by anybody, I wasn't introduced to anybody, and the people who did see me, I mean, just sort of the look that they had in their eyes, I mean, you could tell that I really wasn't welcome there. You know, just, it felt so strange to be sort of sitting in a church, you know, on Christmas Eve and knowing what that day is supposed to mean and what it's supposed to mean to Christians, and having people sitting there, and I know in their head that they're focused on the fact that I'm sitting there in their church, you know, in a pew near them, and how dare I, you know, be there, and that's just the way that I felt about that situation. If I could say anything to a Christian right now, I would say you really need to take some time to really think about Jesus and what he means to you, and then you need to live that. And I understand that a lot of Christians think that the way that I live, you know, my life is full of sin. I don't know. I think everybody sins. So yeah, I mean, I don't know why people like to pick on any one particular sin and say that that's, you know, that's what sets you apart from anybody else. Even if you think that the way that gay people or anybody lives their life is, you know, is that they're living in sin, then as a real Christian, isn't it your duty to sort of teach them about Christ and teach them about the right path, as opposed to telling them that they're just going to burn in hell? I don't know, I feel like those are two very different messages. So yeah, I mean, that's what I would say, is just think about what Christ really means to you, and what kind of person he was, and, you know, what kind of person you want to be, and what kind of Christian you want to be.